Hello YouTube, this is Almaden here, bringing another Wargame European Escalation multiplayer match commentary. This one, it's a 4v4 on the map 3 Mile Island. I was playing this game, I wasn't really taking it too seriously, but it turned out to be a very good game, so let's have a look over it. I was unpacked as usual, and I was just fielding a few random units to just record some cinematics of it to test how good my computer could run Wargame, but the match itself turned out to be a very interesting one, so I decided to commentate over it. Anyway, so the match has started, so let's have a look. So over here, the other guys have started off with a strong attack of Mi-28 Havocs, Mi-9 Recon helicopters, and then some Mi-8 and Mi-24, so a strong airborne attack here. Our team had suffered from quite a few poor communication issues. You can see they've actually left their a command vehicle back in Gulf undefended. Wouldn't really recommend against that, it's a very easy way to die. So let's see over here, the Cobras have moved in and the main NATO forces arriving to support them. The Havocs could get some kills here. The Cobras are quite good in helicopter on helicopter warfare, but the Havocs are a much better helicopter. However, the chaparrals over here have been fully vetted and they're going to cause havoc among the Havocs. Pun slightly intended. Over here, the Mi-24s have covered the deployment of the unpronounceable infantry, the rifle squad there. Elsewhere, NATO's got a strong force in Echo. And as you can see, very poor communication. Our forces is driving around here. No one. Yeah, this was quite a bad start for us on this side. Over here, the motor stroke here deployed in the woods. More transport helicopters coming to cover them, or there to cover them. Else here, a force. Let's have a look at. We got some T-62 MVs, quite a few Bucks, and so quite a interesting force. I mean, the Bucks should be able to keep the helicopters off. Got a good level of recon, including that prototype. Elsewhere in the middle, oh yeah, that's not good. The Lynx AOH transport helicopters with the FR rockets have spotted a command vehicle and are firing at it. Ooh, that looks like one dead command vehicle. And that's the first of our team surrendering. Not so good. Elsewhere here, there's some VABs of kind of the main force here. We've got lots of T-80As, BMPs, Tunguskas out in front. That's not a good idea. Keeps another UAZ command vehicle. I wouldn't recommend using this on the front line because they just get torn apart easily, as I'm sure we're about to see. Some T-64 BM heavy tanks are being brought in. Elsewhere, let's have a look. So we've got 4 Leopard 2A4 tanks. It's quite a powerful force. That's probably going to overcome most, if not all, of these tanks, as most of the TAs seem to be panicked, worried, shaken, that kind of stuff. Up here, the tanks are being driven through the woods. Really not recommendable, as well as the Bucks. You know, you can't get range on. You know, the Bucks' advantage is their range, and you can't use your range while in the forest, so that's not a good idea. So I-2 tanks are being brought in. That's where the helicopters are being flown in here. So let's have a look. So yeah, the Leopards. Oh, one of the Leopards is down, and some Mi-24s are just flying in. Unfortunately, those chaparrals are here. These aren't vetted, so I wouldn't really count them as much of a threat. They're going to have a struggle to hit anything. Well, they hit that one, but only didn't kill it. That's a problem with chaparrals and NATO AA in general. Over here, the command armor managed to survive. Let's get to show this is a good command armor. It was attacked directly by helicopters, and though it's lost health, it's still alive. Elsewhere here, our experienced player Raymond left, putting me in charge of his forces here. I had some T-55s, Buck, acting the Gusgos, mine, some more command vehicles. Elsewhere, I see I'd pushed forward and not really met much opposition. Over here, you know, the NATO strength is definitely on this side. Over here, the Bucks are not being used very effectively. You know, they're driving straight, they can't fire, and the helicopters are just ripping them to shreds. These Bucks should be shredding those helicopters there. you know, there shouldn't be any competition in the matter, but the trouble is they're just being driven straight into the helicopter's range. Also here the T-60 is routing. PT-90, it's got that cannon which could help against the helicopter. Now you see the Bucks have stopped and managed to destroy one of the helicopters, but I was just very bad management of forces. Armor recon prototype still going up. Elsewhere seems to be a front has been secured, but the artillery is now coming in to point it. That command vehicle is not going to last long when being targeted by artillery like that. Those helicopters have been dispatched with probably by those chaparrals there, or the Rolands as well. And look, there you go, artillery gets knocked out the command vehicle. That's why you need command armor in Wargame. Artillery can just make mincemeat of it. Elsewhere, the helicopters have fled, they've run out of ammunition, seeking safety in the forests, but the Milan infantry have been brought in. You know, there we go, that's that front more or less finished here. Another tank being destroyed there. What else? So over here, I lost the command unit on this side by a infantry fine vehicle, but I pushed in with my T80s and T64 BVs. The AMXs are trying to push forward. These guys are actually very highly vetted, and that F1 autocannon can be quite powerful, but the T72s have their armor's too thick for that autocannon to do any real damage. Elsewhere, some more T72s clashing with the AMXs. Not much of a fight in this case. The AMXs may have the, you know, might be good on the move, but they're lightly armoured. The T72s are going to win this fight, no problem. Elsewhere, I brought out my command vehicle from Papet in November to try and get some more points for us. And I saw the ITOs coming and retreated them. However, their retreat's getting smashed a bit with artillery. So I bring in one of my allies' ATGM helicopters that I'd retreated once it ran out of ammo. They have no AA defense in this area apart from the Rolante, which is far behind their lines. So all these ITOs are just going to die very quickly. The ITOs fire at the Tunguska, but is out of range thanks to the hill. They lose sight on it. And the Mi-24 makes quick work of them. The 90 Lynx tank destroyer is brought up. It's got the F1 cannon, but Mi-24V should do a very good job here. They've secured the woods. The last of the force has been destroyed by these battle tanks, and I've retreated all my other T-72s back to November, consolidating my position. Over here, I had some T-62 M1s guarding the bridge because I knew they should, you know, we'd never made an assault on Mike, so it was very likely that they had something in it, so I made sure to ensure that anything trying to cross the bridge would be destroyed. T-62 might not have the best optics, but you know, it's not like it can miss anything trying to cross the bridge. Now Golf's my only our only reinforcement left, and actually I just realised I'm on my own now, so all my allies have left, and it's just me against everyone here. I was busy managing the left side, so these guys are not actually being given any commands, they're just fighting as they can. Push on the Lynx, the Lynxes try and push through, but the ZSUs do quite a bit of damage. However, because there's nothing left in Gulf, they can just take out an FOB and resupply. These over here, the rifle squads are still in these woods and will still be causing quite a bit of harassment for NATO. Elsewhere here we got some basic infantry, some quite good BMPs with that Conqueror's ATKM, some recon keeps, not much. T-64 here. Elsewhere the rifle squads pounce on the Fuchs carrying the infantry, bazookas quickly finish them off. The Lynx can probably see the command keeper here, but luckily they've run out of ammunition, so it's a sort of stalemate. But as you can see, they're spotting it, that artillery from over at Juliet is coming in, the AMX F1 French artillery, as well as some paladins, but I don't think they're being controlled by the same person, so coordination might be a bit tricky. I've noticed that the Lynxes are close, so pull the command keep away, meaning that when the artillery comes down, it's hitting empty fields. I decided to bring in some general defense to assist the command vehicle, a Tunguska T-72 and PT-76B recon. And I've decided that the right side of the map is now a lost cause, so I'm sort of pulling back whatever I can. Fortunately, they brought some striker tank destroyers into range, so fortunately stuff like the Colos will usually avoid fire because it's a supply truck, and the UAZ and the BMP are usually fast enough to be able to dodge attacks. Elsewhere here, the Tunguska is taking out the Lynxes so we can re-secure the FOBs. As you can see, a big force here of Bradleys and Leopards wipe out the infantry that were struggling to keep up. Because in the rush I didn't have time to load them into their transports. Now that Gulf is pretty much gone, I decided to pull out of November. You know, it's very easy to get totally surrounded at November, and Papa, you know, I need the reinforcement zone. So I'm pulling all my available forces back into Papa. Up here, the rifles squads are still holding out. However, as you can see, there's a lot of forces around them. We've got Sheridans, we've got anti-tank forces, well-supplied sapper, flamethrowers. Empty tank destroyer here. If I knew it was there, I could have easily destroyed it, because although it's got ammunition, it's out of fuel. Very odd to have that kind of thing there. So I'm now sort of clustering a bunch of forces around the FOB to try and hold out. However, because I saw the Leopards, I knew that this wasn't a good spot. So at this point, I'm pretty sure they didn't know that I had this command vehicle out here. So if I left it behind the lines, they might forget about it. I just need the Bradleys coming in. Once I see the Leopards, I realise, well, this is definitely, you know, a T-72 is not going to be able to hold off against that kind of force. So I evacuate the more expensive, like vetted Tunguskas, anti-aircraft artillery, you know, valuable stuff like that. Unfortunately, that's not the case, and they're quickly destroyed.